The era of the lion is now, and it is a tearjerker. It starts in episode 11 where someone called Gaia shows up who has the Gaoranger universe ring. The main opponent of the episode is only number 1, a polar bear-esque no one with the gimmick of being number 1 at playing tag. However, once this monster is defeated, instead of releasing a human from the inside, it releases another beast. And very fittingly, it actually looks a lot like an org from Gaoranger, and it actually looks a lot like Zenaku, or Ruki, if, you know, Gaoranger, Power Rangers, whatever. So Gaia and the Beast fight it out, and the Beast actually starts winning, causing Gaia to de-hension, and we see that the human inside this Beast is someone called Luna, who is also Gaia's fiance. And I've said Gaia so many times, can we just take this guy in for a bit? I mean, he's looking slick. The little cowboy attire, or I guess the sort of Indiana Jones archaeology attire, do you know what I mean? He's looking good. Instantly, this story is very different from anything we've had before. We even see Luna inside the Beast, like he has like a little hatch, I suppose, on his chest that opens up, and we can see Luna's face, and she's constantly shouting stuff out like, I hate you, this is your fault, all of it, but it's kind of unsettling. Gaia then reveals to the team that they were hiking when Luna fell off a cliff. And what happens next is what I think is not only one of the more interesting No One stories, but I also think helps set up a change in the entire dynamic of the show and how the No Ones work. We get a deeper understanding of the No Ones, revealing that they truly are a parasite to humans. No Ones are imperfect, which is where human captivation comes in. They kidnap humans with similar wishes to theirs, and then by combining or consuming them, as we've seen throughout the show, they become perfect, or more perfect, and get to come to the real world. However, when Luna fell off the cliff, she didn't pass away immediately, but in the process of being taken from the floor to being captured, she passed away in the middle process. So then when this No One captured her, technically she wasn't alive, resulting in this Beast no longer being a No One. We don't really know what he ends up being. He's just sort of like a unique creature of his own at this point. But Kay then caught onto this and sought him out to investigate and realised he definitely wasn't a No One. So she got the tag No One, the polar bear looking guy, to kind of Russian doll affect the entire situation, where it's Luna and then the sort of the Gaoranger wolf beast, whatever you want to call it, and then the tag No One. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool, kind of morbid. We even have Quan at some point saying like, wow, well, I wonder what the wish is of somebody who's deceased, somebody who's gone. And I think, you know, that definitely plays into the episode a little bit. Gaia reveals that shortly after losing Luna, he found the Gaoranger ring and vowed to get Luna back. He was in the half-century cafe because the team were helping him stitch up his wounds, but then he ends up leaving and goes to sit on a park bench where we see him playing this. Now, I want to say this is an ocarina, the Zelda thing, and he starts playing the same song over and over again, because we saw in last episode that he uses music to tame animals, and we see him using different instruments to have effects on the different Gozyugers. It was quite fun, but that was last episode. As he's then playing, Rikuo shows up and sits with him, as obviously he's a pop idol. He sings, and he was very interested in the music, and he wanted to know what it meant. And also, Gaoranger Red, Gao Red, and Goju Leon, both lion themed, so it's good that they've kind of been given the connection for the episode. Gaia then opens up to Rikuo and says that he is the reason that Luna passed away, or at least he thinks he is. We see a flashback to them hiking, and Gaia did lose his footing and almost fall, but Luna grabbed him, threw him back, which caused her to fall. The team then have a run-in with the wild beast, but Quan is there with Samari, and he actually gets a hench in this episode, and my god, does it look sick. I hate to say it, I think it's cooler than the Gojuger's main henshin, and the way like the X forms over his eye, and then like the blaster on top, sort of like that was so hype. I think Quan, I think Garudo, the suit in general, I hope he sticks around for the entire series. I love Garudo, if you can't tell. Not so much Quan. I think Quan's a bit of a dick, but Garudo's cool. The rest of the team henshin, and we actually get what I'd usually call sort of like a quick morph, quick henshin, but just due to the nature of the Tegasword and all the clapping they've got to do, quick is a fraudulent statement. I do love these types of henshins though. I mean, some of my favourite moments from Boom Boom that stick out to me is when they were just mid-fight and they'd get their little changer and just like smack it across one of the henchmen. So everyone's scrapping, and of course Wolf to Caliber 50 gets another triumphant appearance, and you know, I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing this weapon put to use. It is so good. Meanwhile, Wild Beast is finessing Gaia, and Luna's face is once again revealed, but Rikuo seems to have some sort of reaction to it this time. Gaia gets knocked back and de-henshins, and Wild Beast grows to the size of buildings. And Gaia is ready to just surrender. He puts his head down, he said, look, if this is how it must be, this is how it must be, until Tegasword Blue appears. Blasts at him, stops him from killing Gaia, and then Rikuo actually steps out onto Tegasword's hand, and Gaia's like, what are you doing? And that's when he reveals the last time we saw Luna's face and we saw Rikuo give a bit of reaction, his enhanced hearing actually heard her singing the song that they used to sing, because the big reveal, the song that he's playing on the ocarina, is the song that they used to sing together. Gaia and Rikuo join forces, both playing the song for Luna. We then get this really cool scene in some sort of like void that represents kind of Gaia speaking to Luna, but then also her being consumed by the beast, and it was a cool way of doing the 1v1 battle without making it an official 1v1 battle. So now that we have Gaia facing the truth of the situation, this somehow activates Gao King from the mecha mountain, the deathbed that all the mechs are in. And it's always been one of the cooler looking mechs. I mean, from a Power Ranger fan watching Wild Force, that mech, like you hear Gao King, and that looks like a king. And it looks good as well. I mean, not that Daijujin didn't look cool when it arrived, and not that Tegasaur doesn't look sick, but I don't know, when I found out we were getting all these sort of mechs, or when we found out in theory we'd be getting these mechs, I did worry that we'd just be getting CGI versions. They're looking good, man. They're looking good. And then something happens that if you've watched my Gozyuger videos before, or you watch my live streams, I've been wanting and hoping for the longest time. And this is only a little bit of it, but it gives us room to grow. Howeru then sends Wolf de Caliber 50 up to Rikuo, and it combines with Tegasword Blue, making Leon Deca Claw Star Lion, I think they called it. When it's Tegasword Blue with the lion hand, but then the Deca Claw on the other side. Yes! Finally. Now obviously in full effect, I'd love all the Rangers to be able to control, or at least have a part to make a Mega Tegasword. I keep just, rolls off the tongue beautifully, and it'd just be sick. I mean, this looks sick. The red and blue kind of does clash. I know Spider-Man ain't got no issues with the red and blue, but I just want to see some mechs combining, man. I love Boom Boomja, but one of the things I didn't enjoy is that the mech every single time was Boondario with just added parts. Give me a bunch of mechs combining to make a bigger mech. And the fact that we're using weapons to add to Tegasword just means that we can keep doing it. We can keep doing it until all of them are on there, and Goju Silver when he eventually rocks up. Rikuo uses Deca Claw to open a portal into the Wild Beast, and Gaia leaves Gao King and sort of enters the beast, kind of. He's basically reunited with Luna, and he's so happy to see her, and he's like, we are going to be reunited. And he kind of, the way he puts it, he's like, either I'm gonna save you, or I'm coming with you. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I've got your picture, I'm coming with you. Dear Luna, count me in. But now that she's reunited with Gaia, she's able to fully just like block out the demon and actually speak to him. And she says that her wish is that he lives on for her. Stop it! He then agrees, saying that one day they will be reunited and he will make her proud and he will live on for her. And she fucking sparkles away to the sound of their song. Oh, what a good fucking episode. They then destroy the beast, knowing that Luna is no longer at risk. Gaia reunites with the team, handing Rikuo the Gaoranger ring, saying that he no longer needs it, and after everything he's done, Rikuo definitely deserves it. Which is nice as well, because Goju Leon has the lion ring. I really like how that's worked out. Gaia walks away, saying he's always been a wandering beast tamer, so now it's time to wander life for the time being. Oh, have I mentioned this is a good episode? I think this has changed the game a little bit, because this isn't necessarily an episode that's like developed the story as opposed to Rikuo gaining a ring, of course. This is the first time we've really seen Rikuo doing anything with his heart. I really love the episodes when he explains to Sumino that he has this little like marble that represents light, and that, you know, he will always see a bright future and try and work towards a bright future. But this is the first time we really saw him be, I guess, empathetic towards another character. And the entire story of Gaia having the Gaoranger ring over these 2 episodes, they really went OG Sentai with it, slash what Kamen Rider Gav is currently doing. Even though episodes have rolled into the others before, this really was a 2-parter. Of course, seeing the Gaoranger suit is great. All the suits from Gaoranger are some of the peakest Super Sentai slash Power Ranger suits in general. They're so simple, it's so effective. I've always loved the helmets on those suits, and I think they really did justice. Obviously, I can't speak for the character that the original Gaoranger Red was, because obviously the way they do it in this show is that it's not the same character as different people. In fact, let me see, because I don't actually know. Basically, for example, if you're not really aware of Gozyuger, some of these Universe Warriors are past tokusatsu actors. The Red King Oja is a guy called Nasume, but he's actually played by the guy who played Tayahando in Boom Boomja. He has been in Kamen Rider. Oh wow, he's been in a lot. He's been in Kamen Rider Hibiki, Kamen Rider Deno, and Kamen Rider Zio. He's been in a lot of shit, bro. He played Kamen Rider Kyoki in Kamen Rider Hibiki. He played Kamen Rider Zeronos in Deno. And then in Zio, he played played both those characters again. What a guy. What an absolute legend. So there we go. The more you know. I definitely didn't know it. You guys probably did, because let's be fair, you're all more educated than me in Super Sentai. I'm loving round 2 of Gozyuger so far. If you're not caught up and you want to see the entire story of Gozyuger round 1, then click the video in the end card. Huge thank you and shout out to Sarah Jane, our Super Dino Mode Patreon.